repeatedly in recent months about from all the services, the present global threat environment that we're in and our lack of adequate readiness. At our hearing, we had Dan Coates last month, the director. He highlighted the threat from North Korea, China, Russia, Iran, terror networks around the country. And as bad as the global threat situation is, it doesn't seem likely to get better in the future. Now, the Navy plays a central role in the American response to all of these threats. And it seems like, my observation is that we've heard less from the Navy about the threats in our readiness situation as we had the other services. Would you like to get on record now and see, do you agree with the rest of the services, that level of threat and the inadequacy of our response? Any comments?
Sir, I completely agree, and I've been clear and consistent and on the record about the fact that our margin is eroding, that the threats are rising, and we need to move faster.
Yeah, and you too, General Neller?
So I think we've been maybe not as animated, but pretty consistent in our comments on our concern about the closing gap between potential adversaries and ourselves and our need for modernization.
Yeah, the closing gap, that's a scary thing. You know, that's it
is.
And I think when you say maybe more animated, maybe we need to be more animated because we, and I've said this several times, we at this table up here don't have the credibility that you guys in uniform have to let the American people know what this threat is. And so I would just encourage more.
Senator, I hear you. I mean, I would say if you read, and I'll just state it, in our Force 20, or our Marine Operational Concept, the tenet is we are not currently organized, trained, and equipped to face a peer adversary in the year 2025.
Good.
And that's where we need to go.
The General Neller, the first operational F-35 squadron, the VMFA 121, declared its initial operating capability in 2015. Now, earlier this year, they relocated to Japan, becoming the first forward-deployed permanent F-35 squadron. The squadron participated in joint exercises with South Korean partners earlier this year, and we got lots of good reports. Would you kind of elaborate on how well they did?
Sir, 121 did some operations on the Korean Peninsula. They just recently went to Alaska and operated in an Air Force joint combined operation up there, kind of a version of Red Flag up there. I haven't gotten the classified report, but from every report that I've received, their ability to operate, taking advantage of their fifth-generation capabilities, be stealthy, not be seen, take advantage of that, and maintain a high ratio of kills to losses over the adversary has been pretty consistent. I don't want to get into the specifics of that. And their readiness, which was something with a new airplane, because as the CNO said, one thing that the appropriations in 17 and what 18 does, we have underfunded our parts and spares, not just for ground equipment, but for aviation equipment.
Well,
and so we're working on that. And their readiness has been about what we expected. We've run into some problems I've met with the squadron CO in Iwakuni, and there were some things we didn't know about getting parts and spares in through a foreign country and some customs things, and we're working through that. They actually had better readiness in Alaska being in the United States than they did because of their ability to get access to parts. But they're doing actually a little bit better maintenance-wise and operationally. They're everything that we expected.
Yeah, well, maintenance is the other area. I wanted to get a couple of things on the record. We get the reports that I guess 62% or so, 63% of the F-18s are broken, are not working properly. 47% of all of the naval aircraft is having problems. Our depots are critical as readiness. As chair of the readiness subcommittee, which I have been for a number of years, I understand the key role that depots play in sustaining our aging force, and we have an aging force that we've never had anything like before. I've been encouraged by the Air Force depot operations at Tinker, and I've seen firsthand how they're extending service life to planes that we never thought we'd have to be doing this at this age. And they're keeping the airmen flying all while saving about $2.4 billion. So we're doing a good job in the depots. The GAO report, I think it was in June, just a couple of weeks ago, released, concluded, in quoting from it, said readiness recovery for the Navy is premised on the adherence to deployment and maintenance schedules, and they were critical that the Navy has had difficulty completing maintenance on time. Do you agree with that criticism, Secretary Stackley?
Yes, I do, sir. And we've been pulling every lever we can to improve upon that. But that's been part of the challenges that we're dealing with.
It's another challenge. Yeah, you're right.
We're bringing, in a particular case of aircraft, we're bringing aircraft that have been flying above their historic fly rates into the depots, trying to extend their service life from 6,000 hours design up to 9,000 and greater. And what that all adds up to is a lot of unknowns when you bring it in a depot that result in extended period of time to take care of either adding the service life or taking care of the necessary repairs. So we're trying to learn from that history, become far more predictive, so that when the Super Hornets enter that same stage, that we have a far better engineering understanding of what needs to be done, and we're better postured and prepared to do the work.
Good clarification. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.